Hi there, my name is Cupicate, and welcome back to WolfQuest Stigandr's story, War is Coming. So last time, Stigandr left his family because he was feeling uncomfortable. A small feeling of love was seeping into his heart once again, and instead of embracing it like most would do, he decided to shove it back down and be alone. So now he is going out to take territory, to gather wolves for his army, and more food for his family. Last episode was a reminder that he can't be soft and he can't get attached. And Bovar is with him today as he's shoved that love down. The snake hisses in his ear, warnings of what love can do and how it can make him weak. He heeds the beck and call of the snake wrapped around his neck, and he goes to find prey. Right now, Stigandr smells wolves in his territory. He's going after them. This one was the one from last episode, so we'll leave him alone. We've already gained him in this army, so I won't roll for that one again. But he's taken back his territory and claimed his rightful place. He's feeling strong today, the fires of Bovar burning in his heart, the flickering and embering so loud in his mind he can't see reason anymore. He will take over this land, and then he will go on to the next and take more. That is actually what Bovar is all about. In the book that I'm actually writing that doesn't really have to do with WolfQuest, but where these goddesses come from, Bovar was very greedy. She never had enough. So much was given to her, and yet more and more she took. She was hungry, always. Never satiated, never satisfied, always seeking out the next thing that she could take. And that is what is embering in Stigandr right now. Oh dear. So, I shouldn't laugh, obviously. Our first female, or second female, I should say, is sick. But it popped up and reminded me I haven't named the pups yet, so I'm gonna have to go to the wheel picker and get some names from y'all's comments right now, so when we meet back, the pups will be named. Oh my gosh, everyone's gonna be so happy! We got a Zula! And the pups are named. I have to say, y'all outdid yourself with these names. Some of them were so good. It was hard because I kind of have this rule where I only pick one per comment just to keep the list from being in the hundreds. So I pick my favorite from each comment and then I spin a wheel to see what names we get. And these are some of the best names I've actually seen. So we have Cinder for our second female, Azula for our third female, which is really funny because I was tempted to just name a pup Azula because I love Avatar, but I was like, no, I want to make it fair. Luckily, that one was on the wheel picker. Perfect. We have Cleo for our fourth female, Micah is our second male, Quill for our fifth female, Adder for our third male, and Nylanir for our fourth male. Am I saying that right? Please tell me if I'm saying that right, Kara. Is it Nylanir? If not, just type in the comments what the pronunciation is. Now here's the thing. I named those pups, not seeing them. And I think for our story, it would be very interesting to say that Stigandr gave names to Shiva that he preferred, but didn't say to who. And so she picked some and he picked some, but she gave the names. So Stigandr didn't actually name his pups technically. Shiva did. That's what we're going with for our story. He just said, I like these names, give them to who you think it fits the most, and then he left. I honestly believe the only way these pups are gonna live is if Stigandr is actually gone from the den at all points, which is happening anyway because he doesn't want to be close to his family. So we may actually get these pups to live somehow. Well, Stigandr just took the hex that was right next to the home hex for the Lucky Pack. He fears no evil because he is more evil than the evil. Really? Border? I can't fight them if they're on the border. The border messed me up on that one. That was rude. Oh, we got him to run. We got him to run. Okay. Let's go ahead and roll, folks. 24% their will was weak, and Stigandr has said, join my army and you will never go hungry. You will never want for anything. I can teach you how to fight. I can teach you how to take land. I can teach you how to bring down some of the biggest beasts that tread upon the earth if you follow me. And they did. That's the thing about ruling a kingdom. Is it better to rule with love or fear? And I think that the answer is, if you can, rule with both. He offers a little. He offers food. He offers safety. He offers companionship. That's the love. But he expects that back, and he will demand it with an iron fist. Or paw. Or teeth, we should say. It's all a manipulation tactic. I imagined Stigandr to actually be extremely charismatic in his own way. Straight and forthcoming, but in a way where it's very convincing. He says a lot of pretty words. He makes it sound like the other side is wrong. It's all about convincing the masses, and you can't completely do that with fear, because as a couple of you mentioned, it's very easy to turn against one leader. He has to give them a reason to stay. They have to get something out of it. And now Stigandr will sleep away from the den. He's taken a few hexes right next to the Lucky Pack home hex. He truly feels no fear. He is trying to take them over entirely. As Stigandr runs from hex to hex, he is thinking about new ways he can help convince his followers. It's manipulation as well as some sincerity. He doesn't want his warriors to starve. So he's wondering if while he's out, if he shouldn't take down an extra kill than he actually needs for those who have started to follow him. Small gifts to show that he is worthy of following. The elk are here and they're already nervous. This is good for Stigandr. He's just got to make him run. No bull elk though, he's a little disappointed, but a spike elk might do the trick. And this is all it will take for a first kill. It isn't exactly what he wanted, but he's trying to prove a point. He is strong. He can take down as much as he needs to feed his army. Tonight he will sleep with his prey. And in the morning, he'll return home to feed his children, and then off he will go again. Entrusting Shiva to train them, offering some training on his arrival, but he will not stay close by for very long. This mama bear cannot get a bite in. Stigandr's just too quick. And he's threatening her cub. If she's smart, she'll leave. I've never been brave enough to do that, but I actually bit the butt of that cub. That was crazy. If I was inaccurate, that would have not happened. I would never have made such a huge risk. And here we are back at the den. It looks like the pups are pretty tired with the exception of Azula, Micah, and Nylinear. Which means Shiva has been putting them through vigorous training, and this is good. But now we can finally see who looks like what. And no, I'm not changing it. Even if none of the names make sense, I'm not changing it. So we have little Cinder, who is actually quite bright. But you know, cinders on a fire can be very bright. There's Cleo, Adder, Azula, Quill, Nylinear, and Micah. I'm gonna plop Stigandr right here. We're gonna do a pup cam. So there's little Cinder. Cinder is sick right now, but I'm not really worried about it because we're on easy. Stigandr's not worried about it because his thought is survival of the fittest. However, the thought of Mallow does creep up from time to time. Then we have Azula. She is looking at her father in amazement. Oh, he came back. What do you have to teach me? She's excited to go out on her own, and she wants to be just like her dad. There's Cleo napping after some food, belly full. Micah is excited to be with Dad and really wants to play with him. So does Nylinear. Meanwhile, Quill has passed out next to her sisters and one brother. I feel like Adder might actually be a little lazy. Oh, sweet Adder does look so tired, though. He's got a darker gray pelt, so his name actually ends up fitting him pretty well. And there is Nylinear watching Mom and Dad. Shiva's having a conversation, probably explaining to Stigandr some of the training that she's been doing. And he's impressed. Besides Cinder, the pups look healthy. He'll offer them some more food as well as some training and confidence. But to Cinder, who's sick, he will lie down with her for a moment. And in a small bit of weakness and strength, he will offer a bit of comfort, but not in a way you would expect it. He will say, "Daughter, you have a duty to your family as the firstborn. You could be queen one day, and if you don't get better, you let us all down." And that is the only comfort that he can give to his daughter. It's the best he has. But in his mind, she will either get better or she won't. The pups are so tired! Look at this! 1, 0, 0, 0. They stayed awake long enough to be fed and to see Stigandr come home. Tonight, he will actually sleep next to his pups. He needs much rest for tomorrow. He's going back out once again. Who's sick now? Oh my gosh! So Quill has fallen ill. The pups are passing it to each other, but he is paying it no mind. He still feels the need to go. And he will. I'm really surprised Shiva didn't join. Tonight, Stigandr heads north. He hopes to take more territory, strengthen his own, and to come back down through the Lucky Pack territory, claiming it for himself. Ooh, another hunt, though. He did talk about how he wanted to make sure his warriors are fed. And there it is. Another easy kill. The herd didn't even run, nor did they help the member of their herd. They didn't care because they were too scared to face off with Stigandr, who is probably one of the largest wolves they've ever seen. Stigandr decides to take on more. He sees a spike elk that's weak, and he can't help himself. He has plenty of food, enough to feed him and his family for days. Even his warriors could survive off the food he's brought down. But the power is raging through him. And he can't get enough. Shiva howls in the background with his victory, amazed at the strength and prowess of her mate. She has never felt safer. Bull elk, and now Stigandr is salivating. His belly is full, bulging even from each side. He has no reason to hunt. But the idea of taking down one of these males for his warriors, again, it's exciting. I think the reason Stigandr loves bull elk is because they're a real challenge. That cow elk aren't much for him. They don't have horns that could take a pass at him. Their hooves aren't as strong. They just don't have the same amount of muscle. And so for him, taking down a bull elk is exhilarating. And he's done it again. He's over hunting. At this point, he's killing for sport, which is not normal. But he doesn't see it that way. He sees it as a show of strength. Interesting. I don't actually think that Stigandr would like the way this smells. I imagine it smells human. And he remembers being stuck in that trap, and the metal, even though it was faint, smelled a little bit of human. And he remembered that same smell on the collar that he wore, that the snake helped him get off. So he'll leave this be. He won't even pick it up. Stigandr takes a moment to look over this kingdom he's starting to create. He's just taken another hex from the lucky pack, and this is the view that he has gained. The view of a king. The view of a leader. And he's loving every second of it. And as the sun begins to rise on the horizon, just behind the mountains, he will sleep the morning away. Cinder recovers from her sickness, and just faintly, Stigandr hears Shiva howling a victory. He howls back, captivated by his view. But there's still more work to be done as he continues to take the lucky pack out of existence and having them join with the Dawn pack.